Yep.
Yeah.
Would you all recommend everyone go back and watch? Or
100%.
So
Yes.
100%.
this is like a top 20, top 25 of all
Top
time
tier.
anime.
all time? Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
From where you stopped, I would 100% agree. Like, really? This is a top 20, 25? Once you finish, you'll be like, I see why. Even if you don't agree with it, you'll see why.
Well, actually,
The final episode of Attack on Titan.
Eren did nothing wrong.
Did he love Mikasa?
That foresight and everything.
Would you all recommend everyone go back and watch?
Okay, here we go. Hey, what's good, Scouts and Titans alike? Welcome back to our channel. Today we stand at the threshold of history as we review the final episode of Attack on Titan. We're set to dissect the last stand and battle for freedom and ponder the destinies of Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and the rest of our courageous characters, and also reflect on the profound messages this groundbreaking series has delivered. But before we join the survey corps of this ultimate expedition, a quick nod to our other fronts. Gamers, check out our Nerd or Nothing Gaming for live action gaming sessions. For those who relish in-depth discussions of all things geeky, the Narf Zone podcast is your sanctuary. And get ready to roll the dice in Tabletop Tavern, where you'll embark on our D&D adventures and explore other tabletop games, starting January 2024. Be sure to subscribe to these channels for diverse and engaging content. And now, get your ODM gear ready and let's leap into the final episode of Attack on Titan and witness how this epic saga concludes.
So, for everyone that thought that Eren wasn't planetary, Eren destroyed 80% of the world.
That's what I've been saying, yo.
He left an even 10-10 split so that the Eldians of Paradis had a chance against the rest of the world and would not be discriminated against. Eren, I said it from the beginning.
bro.
I said it from the beginning, and everybody else did too. Eren did nothing wrong.
What I found wonderful is that he used the power of the Titans when he spoke with Armin and he explained everything.
The power
And
of the
he said,
founder.
"Hey, look,
Yep.
I love the fact that I always wondered throughout the entire series, did he love Mikasa? When he sat across from Mikasa and he said, the only reason why you are all about me and protecting me is because you come from a bloodline.
It's time to get down to the nitty gritty here. So the relationship between Eren and Mikasa is absolutely a love story. This whole thing, in a way, is a love story between the two of them, because it goes between the founding Titan or the attack Titan and then the Ackerman family and how they're connected to Ymir. So, for one, Eren always loved Mikasa. That from day one, he was the one that was the most welcoming into his family before Gresha decided to take her in as well. Now, the only reason after the time skip that Eren said the things that he said to Mikasa and to Armin was literally for everyone to hate him and allow them to have this disconnection because he was ready to sacrifice himself from the beginning of that season.
Understood. No, I saw that he pulled a Lelouch. I understand that, and he had to make himself the bad guy.
He pulled a Lelouch.
Of course he pulled a Lelouch. I got it. As soon as he said what he did, and then, like you just said, the bomb you just dropped, I was like, oh, he made an equal playing field so that nobody could be above anyone else. And I knew it. I was like, yo, he had to play the bad guy for everybody to hate him so that he could do this.
And the fact that he made Mikasa and Armin and all them the heroes to stop him by getting it to where the outside world sees them as heroes and they're more likely to come together. Like that foresight.
Let's look at the heroes. Who are they? You have your selected Marleyans and Eldians alike.
The way that episode ended, there is no longer this power struggle, really, if you think about it. Because whenever the actual Marleyans, the ones that were not honorary Marleyans, were pointing guns at any of the Eldians, you saw Mikasa step forward and it's like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, I'm the one that killed Eren. I am the one that beheaded him and ended this. None of us have Titan powers anymore. None of us have Ackerman powers anymore. We are all on the same equal playing field. And realistically, if it were to be the Survey Corps versus those little soldiers from Marley and what's left of the world, Survey Corps is winning easy.
Without question. Without question. I mean, you got to think. The Survey Corps, the scouts alone, yo, they are so ridiculous. I mean, to fight Titans, they're winning regardless.
Not only that, you have a traversal system that possibly rivals that of Spider-Man with the ODM gear.
I mean,
being able to basically web sling between buildings, like, go ahead and hit that moving target.
Yo, the way that they thwip through cities and they start thwipping thunder spears, it's not just swords. Like, they're shooting projectiles on the move in all kinds of different angles.
When I'm coming after speaking to a lot of people that just dropped off Attack on Titan, if someone can remind me exactly where it was, like the first season was amazing. Second season was great. And then somewhere, this isn't fun to watch. Halfway through the third season?
Basically, first season, it went off with a bang. That was really quick. Second season was just as good, but then it started to get into world building. Roughly around the end of the second season, beginning of third season, it was so heavy in world building that you didn't see much action, and it started to confuse a lot of people because now we're going from, all right, the past with Gresha, all right, the future with Eren, all right, Eren could travel to the past and he was in previous episodes, but you don't find that out until like episode 71, but episode 71 is related to episode 1. It was kind of confusing and convoluted, you know. So once we finally got through the third season, they explain it.
A lot of us dropped off at the same exact time.
Yeah.
When the season kept on going, it went downhill and then it took off. And everyone's like, ooh, you should have stopped.
Because right around the middle of the third season, we finally got past the story of the King's family and the founding Titan. And that's when you start to see the story of Gresha back whenever he was still in Marth. So once you see that, and you see that he was the Attack Titan, it was passed down from the Owl who was the Attack Titan, and you see Gresha on that ledge, and it's like, I gotta protect Mikasa. And then he was like, wait, what did I say? Who's Mikasa? It was Eren as the Attack Titan looking into the
future.
And it was bringing everything together. So from there, it got back into the action where all of the Survey Corps or pushing out, they pretty much killed off all the Titans. Every single Titan that was living outside of the walls, they ended up killing them off in the end of the third season. And you finally see Eren and Armin at the sea, and Eren just crying, Armin, we did it. We finally got to see the sea. We've always dreamed of this. And then the fourth season does a time skip.
Yep. Yeah. Would you all recommend everyone go back and watch? Or
100%.
So
yes,
100%.
This is like a top 20, top 25 of all time anime.
All time? Whoa.
Yeah.
From where you stopped, I would 100% agree. Like, really? This is a top 20, 25? Once you finish, you'll be like, I see why. Even if you don't agree with it, you'll see why.
Matt V, I stopped at the same spot you stopped at, but then I restarted because, you know what, there's a lot of banter about it. And I wanted to get back into it because the story was interesting. It just had that one freaking armpit part that was smelly. I couldn't get past it. And I was like, all right, let me just try this some more because I want to know more of what's going on. And I don't want anybody to spoil it for me. So I had to watch for myself. And boy, was I wrong for stopping.
Here's a point that I wanted to go over. There were some people that, you know, because we had to wait a year for episode 1 of the final episodes and then another year for this final episode that just came out, a lot of people were like, all right, I don't feel like waiting. I'm going to go ahead and read the manga. And a lot of people were upset by the manga and were hoping the anime would change that ending. They did not. And I think them not changing the ending was the best option. A lot of people didn't want Eren to die in the end. A lot of people thought that Eren should have survived and Mikasa never should have killed him and they should have just like walked off into the sunset. And so people were hoping that they were going to change that ending. I feel like it would have felt like fairy tale if Eren would have lived in that situation. Like, why do we need this fluffy friends save everyone, like friendship, here we go kind of feel? This is a dark anime. He killed 80% of the population of the entire world, and in the first episode we watched his mother get eaten, which, by the way, he was the one that set up that Titan to eat his mother.
Yo, that spoiler right there had me like, I brought up Lelouch, right? Anybody who's ever seen Code Geass, if Lelouch lived at the end of that anime, would it have ended as good? No.
No, it would have been weird.
Absolutely. Exactly. So I put it in the same caliber. Eren dying was necessary.
Yeah, it was satisfying, and it's because they fulfilled everything they needed to fulfill. They got to the end, and it wasn't like, oh, we're going to save you. Like, not every. I mean, at least it didn't feel like the end of a Kame get killed.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Kame got killed. Everybody died.
Two things. So first off, it actually draws back to a question that we were having about like what makes an anime more gratifying as far as like, do we save everybody or do we need some collateral damage? So because of Eren's demise makes the anime great. He needed to go. He needed to get got. And he did it with purpose. So because he did it with purpose, it was like, okay, great. You know what? Round of applause. Let me watch it again to make sure I didn't miss anything to see why he had to go.
If Eren didn't die, would you think that Titans and humankind would be able to live together? It kind of goes back to the same point that I made before. If Eren would have lived, it would have ruined the whole show. It wouldn't have fulfilled anything because the Eldians would still be stuck in this curse that if you are turned into a Titan, you only live for 13 years and you die. Like if you're turned into one of the 9, you live for 13 years and you die. Well, all the other mindless Titans, there's no way that they would be able to turn back and forth. Only the 9 can.
Also with the fact of how after Eren died, like how all of the Titans, like all the Titan blood, like just went away. How they cannot turn into Titans anymore.
Because Ymir was finally freed. Because realistically, the only reason that she stayed with the royal bloodline is because she did have love for the king, even though basically she was his slave.
So let me ask you this question: why did Ymir look at Mikasa? She was the catalyst.
She was the catalyst that set her free. She was the one that finally let her see that, no, you don't have to be controlled, because the Ackermen were the same way. They were controlled by the founder. She was the one that broke through that mind control that Eren always had over her and showed Ymir, like, yeah, you can do this too.
Everyone that's with me that you quit at the same point that I did because it turned into dog poo, we can all go back together because we're all listening like,
Now you could just binge the whole thing.
So you heard what we had to say about the final episode and season of Attack on Titan. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you agree that Eren Yeager should have died? Let us know in the comments below. Just make sure that you like, subscribe, and give us a follow, and make sure that you share us with friends. Tune in next time.